How many people do you suppose it would take to complain about an advert before said advert gets banned? If you have a number in your head straight away, drop that in the comments below. But I'm going to play the advert for you so that you can think about it whilst watching the advert, and then put down in the comments below how many people you think it would take to complain about this advert before said advert gets banned. Whilst you're watching the video, see if you can spot why the video was banned. And I'm going to give you a clue. And by that, I'll just explain very briefly that if an advert is misleading, i.e. it misleads people to reasonably believe what the advert is saying about its products, then the advert might not be permitted under the regulations, and thus leading to the advert being banned. That is exactly what happened with one Land Rover advert, not a sponsored video by the way, but this is exactly what happened with one said Land Rover advert from February of this year. But before I say too much about it, which I'll give you some views, I'm going to show this advert to you. But remember, this advert's been banned, so it's not an advert. I'm just showing you what was the advert so you can watch it and then decide what you think. Remember, this advert isn't allowed to be shown as an advert anymore, but I'm just going to show you the advert so that you can see what you think and drop your comments down below. Let's watch it first, and then I'll give you some views on it, why it was banned, what I think about those reasons, and we'll have a chat about it. Roll the clip. So as I said, that wasn't an advert because it's not allowed to be an advert anymore. So that definitely wasn't an advert, and this video isn't sponsored. It's not sponsored by Coke either, by the way, so don't mind the Coke can. But right, let's get to the reasons of this. Did you spot why that advert was misleading? Well, neither did I when I first watched the video. I'll tell you exactly now. But first of all, I'm going to give you a few things that it might be, and you can drop a keyword in the comment section below to let me know which one you thought it might be as we go through, before the big reveal as to which one it actually was. First of all, was it the fact that the cars were driving off a ship? If so, you might write the word ship in the comment section below. Was it instead that these vehicles were driving up the rocks on the beach? Maybe you can write the word beach to let me know that that's what you thought. Instead, what else might be misleading? Was it the fact that there was a Land Rover on the rock in the middle of a roundabout that the other vehicles were driving around? Was it the fact that they were driving in the desert? Was it the fact that there were horses in the desert? Was it the fact that there was a traffic light in the middle of the desert? Was it the fact that there was a waterfall being used as a car wash and that there was a defender driving through said car wash? Was it the fact the cars were driving up and down sand dunes, or more importantly, that there was a police officer directing traffic in the middle of those sand dunes? Was it that there was a car park on the top of a cliff? Or was it that these vehicles were reversing using the rear cameras towards the edge of that cliff? Or finally, was it the fact that the closing scene of this island with a desert in it didn't have any vehicles in the picture? Which one of those did you think was misleading enough that complaints about it would lead to this video being banned for being misleading? And coming back to the original question, how many people do you think it took to complain about said anomaly for this advert to get banned? Well, now that you've waited long enough, it took a grand total of 2 people to complain about this advert for it to be banned by the Advertising Standards Authority. But more interestingly was the issue complained of itself. As noted on the ASA website, the advert ended with a portion where the Land Rover was reverse parking on the edge of a cliff using the vehicle's parking sensor to guide them. The issue noted on the website says that 2 viewers who understood that parking sensors warned of objects behind the vehicle but not empty space challenged whether the ads were misleading about what the parking sensor could provide. Now, all credit to carbuzz.com, which I will link in the description below, that alerted me to this advert being banned. They say that the ASA acknowledged some small rocks behind the car, but said the stones were incidental, and it wasn't made clear whether the car was beeping due to the rocks or the sheer drop. The authors at carbuzz.com suggest that the reverse camera is a visual and auditory aid, and they are reasonably sure that the average Defender driver can identify a sheer drop. And if they don't, then it's Darwin doing his finest work. So in fairness, taking another look at this video, which is no longer an advert because it's been banned, there are rocks behind the vehicle which in all likelihood are going to make the reverse parking sensors beep. And with the camera clearly showing that there is a cliff edge and horizon in the distance, I would tend to agree with carbuzz.com that the average driver would recognize that this is a cliff edge, and in any event, if one has been bold enough to drive into the middle of the desert and then up a mountain, you would probably be reasonably sure that there is an edge somewhere and would be looking out for it. But in any event, if there were any ambiguity, not only is there a rear view camera showing you what's behind, including the rocks and the cliff edge and the horizon, but on the display it also shows you a red outline of the rocks that the parking sensor is beeping to. So what's my verdict? Well, in the strictest sense, some people may believe that the reverse parking sensors are indicating the edge of a cliff, but I really don't think that is a serious likelihood. I don't think it's seriously misleading, certainly not to the extent that it should have been banned, so I don't agree with that decision. So all in all, do I think the average person will be misled by this? No. But even if some people are, I don't think it's so severe that the advert should just be outright banned. Otherwise, where are we going to be? If it takes just a couple of people to say that people might be misled by something to ban an advert, I honestly think this decision was just a little bit extreme. I contacted Land Rover to see what their official statement is on this issue, and they said the following. Land Rover is aware of the complaint to the Advertising Standards Authority relating to a scene from a recent Defender Above and Beyond TV advert. We're very disappointed with the ASA decision to uphold this complaint in the UK, as the vehicle, technology and the scene represented is factual, but we will of course abide by their ruling, which was based on only 2 complaints. So on a serious note, and on balance, I have to say that I agree with Land Rover in that I think this decision is disappointing, based on only 2 complaints, and I do not believe that this is a misleading advert in any real sense. I do not believe that the average viewer is going to be misled by any of the contents in this video, but nonetheless, it's a decision that Land Rover must abide by. So as I said, this is no longer an advert, but I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.